Thank you, Christina. This part of the class, I'm going to show a quick demo of the SharePoint commandlets in the Windows PowerShell session. All of the Windows PowerShell commandlets are accessed by the SharePoint Management Shell, which if you go to your Start menu and then you click on the down arrow and scroll over to the Microsoft SharePoint 2016 product section, and you find where it says Management Shell. We're going to right-click it and then run as administrator, and then this is going to launch the Management Shell window. And you can denote that you're actually in the correct window by the PS in front of the command prompt. A normal command prompt would just say C:\users /kirkgas or whatever folder that you're in. But a PowerShell command prompt always is denoted with the letters PS in front of it. So that's how you know, first off, that you're in a PowerShell session. And keep in mind that everything that you do in this particular window or session or profile, all names are interchangeable. It's only stored in this particular window. The minute you close this window, everything is gone unless you save it to the profile directly, which you can do. But for this intents and purposes, everything we do in this window, once we close it, will be gone, will be lost. So going further to learn the principles that we talked about earlier in the class, we talked about what is a commandlet. A commandlet's made up of a verb and a noun. So for example, we type in get, we type in sp_site. Get in this example is the verb, sp_site is the noun. You could do another one. You could type in sp add sp_shell admin. Again, add is the verb, sp_shell admin is the noun. And as we said before, all SharePoint commandlets are denoted with sp, starting with sp. So that's how you know you're actually working in a SharePoint commandlet. So going particular further, to actually see one of the inventories of the commandlet that runs the inventory to show you all the commandlets in your session is get command. Now, if I run this as it is with no switches on it, I'm going to get a whole bunch of commandlets. Not just the SharePoint commandlets, but also the Windows PowerShell core commandlets, as you're going to note. It's going to take a while to run. So I'm going to hit enter, and off to the races we go. As you're seeing, it's running all the commandlets that are in this particular session. And keep in mind, these are loaded by modules or DLL names. So if you know the DLL name, you can actually run it by running the add ps snap-in commandlet followed by the name of the module name, and you can get more commandlets within your session as you're going further. But as it's going, it's almost done with the running, and you'll find some of the commandlets, most of them have SP, but as you notice at the very, very bottom where we have the right verb, if you will, and then debug, and then error, and event log. As we note before, those are not SharePoint commandlets. Those are Windows PowerShell core commandlets. So to really filter down that, I just want to see the SharePoint commandlets, you can run it with the noun and SP and do a wildcard search. Again, what I've done so far as the SP wildcard searching and doing wildcard characters is nothing new to PowerShell commandlets. If you know anything about DOS, you can use any type of wildcard characters. It's all fair game. So now it's running through, and you're seeing there's a smaller list. Sure, it's still scrolling, but if you wanted to filter that even further, we can actually run it with the more, and that basically will stop it per screen. So I'm going to get a screen full of commandlets, and as you're seeing, all of the commandlets listed in this session are SharePoint commandlets because they all start with SP, whether it's SP, app deny, profile leader, whatever it might be. So to take that logic even further, say you wanted to know, you wanted to know access commandlets. You're in an access database. You want to see what access commandlets do I have available. Well, if you use that logic, you could just say get command with the noun and do even a further wildcard. So instead of doing SP, you can do SP access with the wildcard. Now you're seeing all the commandlets that are available in this session for anything to do with access services or server, if you will. So now if you wanted to get help on a particular commandlet, you can run the get help. And say let's just choose one in the list here. Let's just do new SP access. And the good thing about it is, you know what? I want to do the access service application. That's a long name. I don't really want to type it. Sometimes I'm lazy. You can hit the tab key, and it actually will automatically filter through the list within that particular session. So as you keep on filtering through, it finds the right one that you want. Okay, it is. Now I just want to hit enter, and it's going to bring up help for that particular commandlet. As you can see it's got the syntax, it's got a short description. Doesn't really have the examples because I didn't use the proper switch. So I want to figure out, you know what, all I want to do is just see the examples in this particular one. So you can use the very end and you can use the examples switch. Now I'm only going to show you examples for the access services application commandlet. And as you see, there's the two that are available in there. But now I want to get more detailed. I want to figure out, I want to see the parameter names and I want to see the descriptions, where you can run the detailed switch. So as you're seeing, it's going through and it's listing the names of the parameter names, and it's listing the descriptions and also the examples. Again, that was probably too fast, so I wanted to let you see what actually the descriptions look like. So if you just keep going down in the parameter names, so parameter name called name, it gives you an actual description of the name itself along with the application pool. It gives you the name of the description. But there's more behind the scenes to that. So what we can actually use the full switch. And this will give you something different, and I want you to take a look at it because it is, as you can see for the parameters now, we actually have some more information under the name. As you noticed before with just the detailed, all we had was the description name and nothing else. With the full switch, we now have where it says required position, default value, accepted pipeline input, accepted wildcard characters. So this basically lets you know, the main thing this I wanted to show you is accepted pipeline input. This will let you know if the commandlet itself is participating in has a parameter set or not, or does it participate in the parameter set or not. This particular one does not because it's set to false. If it was set to true, then it would be able to be participated in a pipeline session. As denoted is, and I know this off the top of my head, get SP site actually is one that is a pipelinable command, if you will. So let's do this. And that went way too fast. Let's do this again. Again, I can tell that it is because for parameter sets, you've got more than one row of a syntax. And what makes it unique is that there's multiple ways to do the same command, basically what a parameter set is. And keep in mind they're mutually exclusive. So in this particular example, what makes them unique and going through the second row is identity, the third row is content database, and the final row is site subscription. That's what makes these particular one mutually exclusive or unique. And keep in mind with parameter sets, if I wanted to use the get site for content database, I'm locked into all parameters and any parameter in that third row. I cannot mix and match the parameter sets, meaning I can't say I want to use get SP site, I don't want to use content database, and I want to use identity, and I want to use site description. You cannot do that. It's that you get an error message. You get this red ugly box. It'll basically say, nope, can't do that. And then for each of the parameter sets for SharePoint commandlets, when I document them, in the very first paragraph of the description, you'll notice where it actually lets you know that this commandlet actually does have more than one parameter set, that it actually is a commandlet parameter set. And it actually has a reference link or a Go link that references you off to a TechNet website that explains what a commandlet parameter set is and gives you more information about it. The last thing I want to talk about is the get member. And this basically shows you more information behind the scenes, and you have to use the pipe switch. If I can type it. So as you can see, this particular get command commandlet has some methods and has some properties behind the scenes, and they're only exposed if you use the get member parameter. It's a highly powerful one if you really wanted to do some coding. Say, I wanted to do coding, I want to see, is there a update method to this particular property to this particular commandlet? But the answer to that question is you can use what I just did. You can use the name of the command, piping it to the get member, and the get member would basically show you whether or not it actually does support any type of property value or any method or any scripting property. So it's a very, very powerful particular commandlet to be using. So this is just the main basic commands that I feel you should have better use of getting used to. And hopefully this was useful, and thank you for watching.